Hi, my name is Joe Moosberger.
Hi, my name is Bernice Earharbor.
Nice to meet you, Mrs. Earharbor. I want to thank you for taking time to sit down and do this interview with me. So, I work on the marketing team for a company called Excites LLC Management.
Mm-hmm.
And today, I'm going to be getting your input and asking a few questions about business investment we're considering in the future. And I just want to emphasize off the bat that there are no right or wrong answers. I would just like your honest opinions. So to give you a little background, Excite LLC is considering an investment of upwards of $700 million. And we would invest in a new startup company whose purpose is to design and sell a complete line of clothing. So that's like for children, adolescents, adults. It could be business, it could be casual. It's all lines of clothing made 100% from recycled, sustainable, plastic-free, and biodegradable materials.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have a few questions for you. So first, considering your feelings on sustainability, have you yourself ever purchased clothing marketed as sustainable or plant-based or biodegradable?
Personally, I don't feel like I've purchased clothes in that sense that I would know that it was degradable, plant-based, or whatever. But I feel like the marketing towards that sector does tend to focus more on foods. So in a sense, I've purchased organic and food companies that are trying to cut down on waste essentially. And I feel like I've seen it more in the food and grocery aspect as versus the clothing.
How do you feel about it, being in clothing? Is that something that kind of interests you?
100% it interests me. This is probably one of the first times I'm hearing it being marketed that way, and I think it's obviously great for the environment. And I feel like retailers that are having these options available, they need to make it a little bit more well known, because I feel like when I go into the stores, I don't kind of really know which clothing items are and which ones aren't.
Yeah, so you think there should be a lot more marketing put into that the product is biodegradable, sustainable, and 100% recyclable.
Exactly, yeah.
And if they put in more marketing like that, would you see yourself as a consumer of that kind of material?
Definitely. If I know that I'm making a change and a difference in the world, then I would love to do that. But, yeah.
Let me ask you, what words or feelings, just the first that come to your mind when you hear terms like recyclable, then sustainable, and plastic-free?
Some of the words that come to my mind are healthy living, good, clean, and everyone. And the reason why I say everyone is because it's something as simple as just recycling your can of soda. Everyone can do it. It's easy for everyone to partake in, but it's hard to kind of start that movement.
And do you think it is really effective and helps the environment? Is that something that you're about?
100%, yeah.
So let me ask you, would you be comfortable paying maybe a higher price for sustainable products as you think it really helps? Or is price range really kind of set and you would rather just buy the cheaper alternative?
So yeah, I think that's one of the downsides to, this newer market. And, personally as a college student who doesn't necessarily have the most money right now, that's not something that I could fit within my budget. But, as a working adult, I don't mind paying a little bit extra if I know that I'm making better decisions for the planet and everyone that lives on it. But then I also kind of want to know how much of a price difference would it be. I hope something not astronomically high.
Yeah, so if it was super astronomically high, you would not be a fan of that. It would be out of the question.
Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah, and so let me ask, you said you're a college student, so looking at your demographic and your friends, would you say that your opinion is kind of the standard and other people feel the same way, that they wouldn't mind spending a little extra money?
I definitely don't think my opinion is the standard. Maybe just around the people that I associate with, it might be the standard amongst us. But I think if you go out into the public, you're definitely going to get a bunch of different answers from. But in the college student aspect, I feel like since we don't necessarily have that much of the funds to dedicate towards options and items like that, we're not the market that would be the highest in partaking in it, essentially.
Do you have any idea what a higher market would be?
That's a good question. I kind of can't think of that off the top of my head, but I'll.
That's okay. And like, do you ever worry or hesitate that these claims are not true and the company is just kind of adding these titles like recyclable and sustainable, and you're actually not getting the material that they're advertising?
Yeah, now that you bring that up, that is a really good point, and I think it's obviously the consumer should know and research and do, but I also think there should honestly be laws and regulations. You know, companies that are obviously not getting their products from sustainable areas, they shouldn't be able to market it that they are. So I kind of think it's like a pillar on both ends. But as customers, yes, we should be researching and making sure that what we're buying is actually what is being promoted.
That's worded very well. And like, when you're purchasing clothes, what factors kind of are most important to you? Whether that be price, comfort, the brand name or the style, sustainability, etc. What factors would you say matter most to you?
At this moment, the thing that matters the most is what fits well. You know, sometimes with like the way my height and weight is, some clothing brands can be kind of unproportional. So I really value clothes that fit well for my body, essentially.
And so, like, if you were to rank those factors from highest to lowest, you don't have to actually, but where would sustainability and eco-friendliness and plastic-free, where would that rank in your list? Would it be up high with like what you would consider your most important factors, or do you consider your other factors much higher than sustainability, or is it in the middle?
It's kind of in the middle a little bit.
Okay. Do you ever see that raising or lowering on your list, or no?
I can definitely see in the next couple of years that raising more on my list, but also, like you had mentioned, just making sure that these are reputable companies.
Yeah.
And that they're doing, they're marketing what they are telling us.
Yeah, totally. Are there any factors that are, you would consider where it's like, I would never buy this if it has this quality? That could be like a certain type of clothing material, like cotton or polyester, or something like cheap fashion, like that you would see on like just places like Shein.
Yeah,
Or everything's good?
No, I don't think everything's good. I personally try and stay away from a lot of those fashion outlets, and I try and do my research as much as I possibly can. And then another big thing is I do try and focus on American-made goods here in the U.S.
Okay, so American-made, that's a big thing for you? Cool. I like that. And going back to what you were talking about, like with fast fashion, we see that in some areas it's kind of popular, people buy from it, but it's kind of fads. Do you think that the product would have a less likely chance to succeed if we marketed towards like a fast fashion model? Or do you think it would succeed more if it's like a true set installation that you could see at like Target or other clothing departments over the world?
What's funny is I feel like it's actually tipping over from the fast fashion into the markets.
Okay.
But essentially most people know what it is. They know the companies, and the marketing is working well because they're marketing to the customers that want that sort of product. So I think what they're doing now is relatively fine because it's been working for them.
Yeah. That's a great answer. And kind of another thing I was curious about is the feelings you have for a clothing brand that covers all age groups. Like I was saying, it covers like infants all the way up through adults, anywhere from style to business to formal to shoes. Do you think that that's kind of different, and you would prefer, brands that stick to like shirts or stuff like that?
I think it is a little, when you talk about how it's covering from infants, toddlers, all the way to adults and such else. I think it's a little bit too broad for a customer to feel comfortable shopping there.
Yeah.
That's just personally my opinion.
No, thank you.
But it is a very interesting concept to think about.
Yeah. And then, like, would you, like, consider buying from a brand like this, either for yourself or for family as a gift? And kind of why or why not?
Why not? It's just, like, I kind of like when companies hone in and specialize on one certain product, one certain item, one certain type of quality. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the higher the quality they can give you, and when you tiptoe into the wide range of clothing, ages, products, I feel like that can tend to skew the quality because they just want to put out everything first.
Okay.
Each certain genre.
Yeah, so you would feel more comfortable buying from a more narrowed, segmented look on the clothing because that make you trust the quality a lot more.
Exactly.
That's very helpful information. Okay, so do you think a broad range brand like this feels inclusive? Is that a word you think of, or does this huge just amount make the brand seem less stylish or less focused on like targeting a core group?
I feel like just as you were reading the description, that's actually a word that came to my mind. The inclusivity aspect.
Okay.
So they kind of want to, they're basically saying all are welcome in this sense, and I think that is nice. But at the same time, where does that draw the line between the quality that customers are going to get if all are welcome?
But you would say something that is inclusive gives you a stronger feeling of positivity towards that brand?
It does.
Yeah. And finally, I just want to ask you, in your mind, what specifically makes a sustainable brand stand out to you personally?
Good message, quality clothing, great atmosphere when I walk into the store. That's another good thing that I do to take up on. Good customer service.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you truly for your insights. That's all the questions I have for you, and I really want to thank you for taking the time out of your day, and really everything from your replies and your responses that you shared with me today was wonderful, and I think this will truly help us understand consumers and how they think about sustainable clothing and whether this could be a successful brand.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.